Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Maurice Bishop. I wanted to share with y'all a game between LCFS versus the Dark Vanquisher. I've been hearing a lot about LCFS. You know, he plays a lot of the Black Lion with black and white, and a few people told me that my style was similar to his, which is pretty crazy. So decided to check some of his games out, and this one actually pretty much stood for me in this game because I like the Black Lion. I definitely like playing it, so this was pretty interesting. So obviously LCFS played as white, Dark Vanquisher played as black. So without further ado, let's actually get started. All right, so LCFS played D3, G6 is played knight F3, bishop G7, knight B to D2, knight F6, and pawn E to the E4. This is pretty much all part of the Black Lion. If he was playing as black, but he's actually playing it as white, which is you can do both. He castled kingside H3. Um, Remember I told y'all in my last video with the Black Lion, you usually only do H3 if the pawn goes to H6. In this move, if the pawn goes to H6, but then again, there's been some new variations where you can still play H3 anyway and still get away with it. Ginger GL talks about it in his Black Lion course. Call it the risky Black Lion, and then the preservative Black Lion. So you can still play H3, so it really doesn't matter. So, all right, so pawn D7 D6, C3, which is pretty much how we play as black. You move the queen from D1 to C2, or if you was black, you will have the pawn on C6 and queen D to C7 will take place. But also you're kind of like overprotecting this pawn on E4 as well. But the white queen is doing more than just that. But you'll see in a minute. E7 E5, queen C2, as we just talked about. Knight C6, bishop B2 just developing because you got to bring the knight to F1. On D5, knight F1. He actually takes the pawn. He takes back. A6. Actually, let me go back real quick, y'all. On this move on D5, I actually played Black Lion as white before, and I do have to talk about this though. I have a lot of players now playing that instead of playing D5, they play knight H5, and the reason why they play that because for somebody that knows the Black Lion, know the whole setup, majority of the time the player's gonna go to knight H5. So potentially, I usually go G3. I usually win more games by going G3 only due to the fact that if you let that knight to F4, especially if you let's say knight H5, knight F1. I had people just go knight F4 anyway, and then I just wound up taking, and then he takes, which is still good for white even without the dark square bishop because now we can actually push on D4 um, if we wanted to, but I don't think that would be a good idea yet. But by us having a strong connected pass pawns, if y'all know the end game, having these pass pawns like this, it's pretty strong, especially if these pawns are connected. But this pawn, the only thing about going to F4, this pawn on F4, it will be potentially weak, especially after we go pawn H4, and now this G5 pawn can protect it now. So potentially this will become weak, and we'll be able to capture that pawn. So that's why it has some advantages or whatever, but at the same time it doesn't. But be happy if they go knight F4 because our center will be a lot better than they are. So just to let you know about that. All right, let's go back. But knight F1 is played. D catches E4, D catches E4, and then pawn H6. All right, and again, like I told you before, he didn't have to go H6. He could still go knight H5. Some variations is knight H5 and knight E3, which You can go. I mean, it has its perk going 93 because you do get this knight squared on d5, but that's not what we're playing. We're playing the black lion. All right. So after a6, LCFS goes to g4. Good move. King h7, knight g3, bishop e6, and g5. You gotta hit g5 automatically. You just got to. He goes on 97. Now, the move that actually would have been a lot better, and this is again, this is a defensive move. This is something Tiger and Petrosian would have did. He would have just moved knight g8. This is how Petrosian plays. He'll let you take that piece, and then he'll probably make moves like bishop f6. So now you pretty much gonna have a hard time attacking this king because he's standing in front of your own pawn, and it's not like you could capture your own pawn. So the Trojan probably would have played something like that, or maybe he could have just take, with bishop catches h6. I mean, you could still do good either way. Uh, for instance, maybe bishop catches h6 and maybe knight catches a6. Can't go g5 because the queen is here. But even if you go h4, maybe king g7, knight g5, and then maybe queen e7. The defense is pretty much black has some good defensive moves around, so it shouldn't be that bad. All right, y'all. So So after g4, king h7, knight g3, bishop e6, g5, as we just said, knight d7, and g catches a6, bishop catches a6, and then bishop catches a6, and then king catches a6. And as y'all can see, what the black line is doing, since that G pawn is out of the way, now he'll be able to have a G file. This is the whole point of the black lion for white. Now he's gonna have a nice G file. The queen can actually move over, and which is what he did. Queen h6, knight h5, which is powerful again. This rook on G file is phenomenal. So his opponent takes rook on g1 check, and then bishop g4. And the reason why he goes bishop g4 because it's really nothing that the black king can do at all. He can go to maybe king f6, but this is automatically mate already, so you can't do that. You can't go king h7 because of knight g5 check, and it doesn't matter where you go because you can go to I don't know, maybe king h8, but then after knight catches e6, that's it. Because if he takes the knight, then this is checkmate. So, yeah, it's a lost cause for black. Alright, so after he takes the knight, he checks. The only way he can block it is with the bishop. H catches g4, and then the pawn pushes because he's trying to lock down a g file or whatever, which is why the pawn didn't take. So white actually castles queenside. F6 is played. I think this causes more weakness than what I had to. This caused a lot more weakness, and I mean he's already lost, but this really like kills it. The better move would have been at least knight b6. Even if the queen goes to e3, queen f6. No, this is some lines I'm looking at. G5, queen f4, and then if he exchanges queens, then the attack is pretty much all over. So yeah, so then you just pretty much go into the end game, and white still has an advantage. I still like it for white. White should be able to win this game. His pieces are too active, if you ask me. Yeah, after f6, his opponent goes LCFS goes knight catches h4, king f7, He goes bishop c4, which he didn't really have to go bishop c4. He could have just probably just went queen a6 or whatever. I think queen a6 probably would have ended very soon. But bishop c4 is not bad either. Bishop c4, king f7. Oh my bad. Bishop c4, king e7. He goes knight g6, but I think the proper move would have probably been knight f5, because with knight f5 you got king e8, knight g7, king e7, and queen d5, and you pretty much have it's pretty much an inevitable mate. But the only way he could kind of stop it is just giving his pieces away. So for instance, like knight d4, he captures, knight c5, he has to take, and then queen d6, and then knight f5 check, and then he just loses his queen. So that's pretty much what would have happened. But the king goes to e8, knight captures it, and he didn't have to capture that the rook. Like I said, I'm pretty sure he was playing. Yeah, he was playing bullet. So yeah. But just so y'all know, he could have just went queen f8. This is also a killer. But like I said, what he did is great. It don't even matter. He's winning this game, so it doesn't really matter. But queen a6 would have been a lot faster. But anyway, he takes his rook. King e8, knight captures f8, knight captures f8, queen h6, queen e7, and then he ends it with queen h5 check. And it's pretty much no way he's getting out of this. The king can't go over here. If he comes over here, queen captures f7 is mate. The only way he can stop it is with knight g6, and then queen captures g6. And then if he goes on king f8, he got rook h1, and this is just winning. So for instance, if he try to go queen g7, he has that rook h8 move. So if he takes, this is mate. Or if he decides to go, well, it don't really matter where he goes, but even if he goes king e7, this is still mate after. Either way, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, man, I hope y'all enjoyed that game from LCFS. I'm actually hoping that he goes on again, because I think it's been 2 or 3 weeks from what I'm hearing that he hasn't been playing on here. So, but I just wanted to share that game with you because I thought it was an interesting game. But if y'all enjoyed this video, please like, please share, please comment, share your ideas. Let me know what you think. And also, y'all, don't forget to subscribe. All right, y'all. Peace out.